You a car guy, Noah?
Am I what?
A car guy.
Craig, I drive an old 2005 Land Rover. Of course I'm not a car guy.
I forgot. You watch Harry Potter. Anyway. I'm kind of half and half a car guy, you know? I'll occasionally get the Forza video game and drool over some nice cars.
So you're friends with Nathan?
No. Not even remotely close. No.
What about Little D? He likes Hurricane Heist. That's his favorite movie.
Yes, he does. Fast and Furious is garbage, first of all. Second of all, I'm a bit different when it comes to cars, though. I do care about performance and how well car is built, how well it can, get up to speed, acceleration, and what goes into the engine, how the engine is put together, stuff like that. I have a very basic knowledge on that.
I know you put the oil in the engine or it explodes.
Yes, very good.
My favorite car game is Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing.
But for me personally, something that really goes into caring about a car is, or deciding what cars I like and what I don't like, is styling.
Mm. And
I just wanted to get that out of the way because we do have a car nut job that watches us. And I knew what I was getting into when I said we're going to watch Ford versus Ferrari. Sorry, Jay.
Can I give a little tagline to this already?
Sure, go ahead.
Ford versus Ferrari, the most okay movie we watched on this show.
I wouldn't say it's okay. I think it's pretty good. I think it's like, you know that meme with like Stan Smith from American Dad where he's got like the thing on the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is like teetering right there on great and pretty good. The only complaint that I have in this movie is its pacing. Very slowly paced.
That ending race is so long.
Oh, I actually really like that. Cause like when you go see this movie, that's kind of what you're in for. You want to watch the car, you want to see its performance, its output, and you want to watch the race. That's what this movie was attracting. Not so many people who can actually appreciate the film quality though. And everything else about the movie, if you came for just the racing, though.
Yeah. So, the main character, what's his name? The racer.
There's two main characters. There's Ken Miles and there's Carroll Shelby.
Who's the one who got kicked out of, wow, I cursed on my own show, winning the race? I can't remember his name.
The driver is Ken Miles.
Ken Miles, yep.
The owner of Shelby, believe it or not, is Carroll Shelby.
Never would have guessed. So yeah, Ken Miles was okay.
Well, this is a true story.
Yeah, I know that one. I could tell it was a real story because the ending was disappointing.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Fucking how many true stories end like that, where you're left with some kind of like you're wanting resolve, but you're just not gonna get it.
It's good to know that every CEO of Ford has always been pretty horrible.
Henry Ford II in this movie kind of came off a bit more of as a victim, like of the pressure from his executives and administrators, and almost kind of like an idiot.
I mean, at least he wasn't his dad, who was a Nazi.
That's true.
Get that out of the way right there.
I don't think the Ford Motor Company actually wanted this movie made.
That's fair. I can see that.
I don't think they produced it, or they like even gave like I think there was like a really big argument about it. I think maybe a lawsuit. Anyway, the name Ford is free domain, right? Like it's been that time.
Yeah, it should be at least.
So yeah,
I don't know. Disney has screwed over public domain I don't know how many times.
I don't think Ford really cares about its public domain that much anyway. But
Also,
yeah, you can, make stuff about it.
that's coming up soon. Public domain is going to try to be extended again. So if you want Disney stuff to be in the public domain, write your congressman anyway.
Yes, sir.
I want to be able to make weird stuff with Mickey Mouse.
I'm going to do some weird shit. I kind of want to do a more laxed review than what we usually do, summarizing the plot one scene at a time.
That's fair. I don't really have a whole lot to say about this movie. We've discussed earlier that I'm not really a car guy. I do like a lot of the dialogue in this movie. There's a lot of good little quips.
The dialogue is so fantastic.
I just like how the pit boss is like, hey, it's his car until he gets out of it.
Yeah, this is a true story, and I feel like, some parts have been made, dramatic and, over the top, but the dialogue really does feel real. These are actually how people talk. And they make jokes like this, and they're this intense. And
you're saying people don't talk like in Michael Bay movies, Greg?
No.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Yeah. Somehow Palpatine came back from the dead. Anyway. But I know quite a few mechanics, and they genuinely are this hot-headed, this argumentative, this capacity for just pure obscenery.
I guess that's fair. I've only known a couple mechanics, and they're usually pretty laid back or really intense.
Yeah, both personalities are encapsulated very well in this film. Ken Miles, considering he was played by Christian Bale, pretty awesome character.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie sense. I mean, in real life, he's, probably a different person. They probably changed every character in this movie just to make it a movie,
Speaking of Christian Bale, I mentioned him in our last Iceberg video, card right here.
Card right here. Click the top right. You morons.
Just get those videos out there. Our last Iceberg video didn't do as well as our first one. It was a grave disappointment.
Well, the first one probably was just algorithmic, blessing upon us. Because I randomly saw, a couple of videos in my not my timeline, my recommended that were, at 28 views, and I was like, what is this doing here?
Anyway, back to cars.
The characters in this movie are all interesting. I found that one I was analyzing a lot was Bebe, the main antagonist of this movie. He's the vice president of Ford. And he's such yeah. He's such an asshole, and I wonder if he was this big of an asshole in real life. Or
Based
if the
on
movie...
what I know of corporate America, I wouldn't be surprised.
This guy was just the absolute worst. And kind of in such a moronic way too, because he genuinely limited the capacity of the company to succeed. But the movie did... Oh, go ahead, Noah. I've been talking for a while.
I don't have a whole lot to say about this movie, Greg.
Damn, really? You didn't like anything?
I mean, I like the dialogue a bit. I've even quoted some of the dialogue that I've liked. It's just cars don't interest me too much. Some of the corporate aspect is kind of interesting when you're talking about, he was a ginormous asshole. And it's kind of sad to see how marketing and corporate oversight destroys corporations. It doesn't look out for their best interest a lot of the time.
Yeah, it kind of turns a company into a living entity, which is crazy because they genuinely move parts of a body, of a human body, and it's insane because that as a business major myself, this kind of level of efficiency just happens all the time in real life. and in some cases it's a detriment, just like how it was in this movie. Like the genuine like oversight and maneuvering of the company. But Ken Miles perhaps was the greatest character ever in this movie. He's so funny. And then the climax of this movie happened when he's coming home from the grocery store and him and Shelby just start beating the shit out of each other. And the groceries are everywhere. And, you know, his wife just pops a squat right down in the front yard to watch them beat the shit out of each other.
I mean, you do know that Papa Squat has several meanings, Greg, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up.
I feel like this movie this movie does a lot of things well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bebe isn't a traditional like movie villain that a lot of people are used to, but he is genuinely evil. Like, I don't think there's more than one way to write evil in a movie, and it doesn't have to be like a superhero movie to do it either. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted to review this movie so badly, is to just demonstrate that. Because, like, this is a normal human being, but the way the movie portrays him and the way his character is written, I mean, like, this probably did happen in real life. I mean, evil villains exist in real life, and this is a great example of it, and how you can do it in media. Because everyone's trying to write the next Lord of the Rings, or they're trying to write the next MCU. Probably not DC. They're probably not trying to make the next DCU.
Well, Zack Snyder might be in charge of the DCU again.
That'll be awkward if he starts it up again.
God I hope
damn.
Not.
They should just restart it with Shazam. The Shazam was great.
Yeah, it was.
Wonder Woman was a bit overrated. I don't know why everyone liked it.
The first one's pretty decent. That second one is pretty bad, though.
I know. I don't know. That's my point. Everyone likes the first one. I don't know why.
I like the first one okay. I have some big issues with it, but I like it for the most part.
I just think Gal Gadot is like an overrated actress.
She's not a great actress, but I think she plays that part okay.
Well, at any rate, that's really what I would pull from this movie, is that there's one way to write evil and villainy, because the movie wants you to think of like Ferrari as the antagonist.
And really, they're not.
Like Enzo Ferrari. I know, but it's like that's what the plot line is about. Mm-hmm. It's about Ford trying to beat Ferrari, and it's about Carroll Shelby essentially versus Enzo Ferrari. But like
now, what it really should be called is Ford versus Bebe.
Ford versus itself, or maybe Ford versus Carroll Shelby.
The Ford logo is just punching itself in the face, and that's the poster of the movie.
I don't know why, but I can't stop hitting myself. But that's what the plot like tries to get you to do. But there's just this subplot going on that's far more interesting than the main plot. And I don't know, that interaction is just so fantastic. Because you have the greater vision in front of you, but what's directly in front of you is so much more interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I have a lot of like fun little emotions about this movie.
I mean, when I think about like the photo finish that they wanted, they really had an option, which was, should he break a record or should he get this photo finish? Either one of them would have been pretty big news.
Too bad he was trying to be a team player, I guess. It's so sad, like that happened in real life. Even like my video game that I play, Forza, the car that won the race is more expensive than Ken Miles' race, like in the game, and that makes me sad on a deep emotional level. I don't know why. It makes me horrendously sad. And it's got the movie has a fun way of like overcoming obstacles that aren't human related. Like it's man versus machine in a lot of bits because they're trying to figure out how to make the car work as efficiently as it does.
Yeah, there's a lot of scenes of them testing this car on the racetrack, trying to get it perfect.
Oh, it's hilarious too when they like dupe the scientists. They're putting like an actual like 2,000-pound computer in the car and they're wondering why it's going slow. Oh, it's hilarious. I don't know. That's really funny to me. Cuz that is like the genuine mindset of mechanics. Cuz they'll like my mechanic friend, he'll always complain about how engineers design something because it's a bitch to work on, whether or not it makes the cars like perform better. Yeah. Like he sent me a picture one time of like a bunch of wires that were like plugged into the computer of the car, but they all had like essentially like tar on them to like weld them to the slot so they don't like, you know, fuck up. And I'm sitting here thinking, why didn't they just use electric tape?
My buddy Kevin had a Volkswagen, and in order to change the headlights, he literally had to take off the bumper and the tire.
Yeah, that my Honda Accord, in order to repair the transmission, you have to take out the battery. Which fucked up my radio. I didn't have a working radio for months.
I mean, a lot of people dog on British engineering, and don't get me wrong, a lot of it's pretty bad. But at least for my Land Rover, you literally have to twist a compartment, and the light bulb comes right out.
Don't talk shit about British cars, by the way. I love British cars. Aston Martin and Morgan are my two favorite car companies. I'm also going to get some flack from Jay.
I low-key really want a Mini Cooper.
Why?
I like the way they look.
They look like golfing berets.
I just think they look neat.
They actually look like something my dad wears when he goes golfing. It's hilarious.
I just think they look neat. There's something about them. Either that or maybe another Land Rover. Those things are good people movers.
Yeah, so I'm judging that you're going to give this movie a lower score than I did.
Oh, out of curiosity, Greg, what score did you give this movie?
I gave this movie an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
I give it that because not only is the dialogue fun, not only because, you know, the villainy is great, not only because the action, the quote-unquote action is great in a different way that most people expect, but I also give it that because it's very accurate to what actually happened in real life. Without, you know, making it overly dramatic or whatever. It did make it overly dramatic, but...
I mean, yeah, but that's a movie's job. Like a 6.
6? I was predicting you would give it a 6.
Low 7, I could see, like on a good day. For me, what doesn't work for me is the ending race. I know that's what a lot of people say is a highlight, but it kind of drags on a long time. And I didn't find a lot of it interesting because for me it was hard to tell, and maybe this is because I don't watch races in real life. That might actually be it. But for a lot of time I'm like, so what place, what's going on? That was me for a lot of it. And as someone who doesn't drive a stick, shifting gears I know nothing about.
Yeah, manual is stupid.
So I didn't catch any of that stuff when he was like just like doing anything manually, and I'm just like, okay.
It's a technical know-how, really.
It's technical know-how, and I think some of that will depend on how you view this movie. If you like cars, if you really like cars, you're gonna like this movie a lot more than I would.
If you knew what was going on, you would be like, oh my god, that's actually really smart, because technically they're outsmarting each other when they're like neck and neck and they're shifting gears like that. But I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when they're like in the pit and they're arguing with each other, and they're like, that's Ken Miles' car, until he gets out of it. And then it cuts to Ken Miles, and he's going, I'm HNPPY, I'm HNPPY. He's like singing to himself because he's so happy because he beat the best Ferrari driver. He made him go over. It's fantastic. Right. I don't know. The comedy in this movie is also extremely good.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the dialogue is quippy, and I find it nice. It's not like one of my favorite dialogue movies, but like it's chuckle-worthy in my opinion. Which, I mean, is appropriate for this kind of film. You don't want anything that's like, going to make you like burst out laughing really loudly.
Nothing that, slows the momentum of the movie and makes you dwell on the laugh, the joke.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that in movies, by the way. Everyone seems to fucking love it, but goddamn, I hate it so much. Everyone liked the third Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. I hated it.
I do like Thor Ragnarok.
It's not what Thor's supposed to be about. God damn it. Anyway.
I think it's kind of ironic that nowadays no one wants to own a Ford car because they're unreliable.
They are. Like, they guarantee service. You want to know why? Because service you will need.
I actually have family who lives in Detroit and worked on Ford plants.
So I'm going to give a little rant.
And
oh, wait, actually. No, wait. I just realized you were telling a story. And for some reason, I thought you were giving like a little quippet.
I just want to say, I've actually visited a Ford plant before because they had like a family day where you could go and like tour the facilities and things like that. And it was interesting enough, but at that point, like I was probably like still pretty young. But at that point, I could tell, oh, this place isn't doing too well.
Oh my god. Well, like, the thing I was going to say, so I'm going to rant about something for a second. This is about people who own trucks. Okay. And people who like trucks.
If you buy a Ford F-150.
No, not only about the Ford F-150, but like, I personally am thinking about getting a Honda Ridgeline, which is Honda's truck. And my friend was booling on me. He was saying like, oh, that's not a real truck, And I said, what qualifies as a real truck? And he goes, something that can tow like this hole or whatever. And then I dwelled on that comment for a really long time because I thought about it and I said, people who own really big trucks, what the fuck do they even use them for? I guarantee you they don't tow anything greater than 2 tons, but they have the towing capacity of 8 to 10. What the fuck are you using it for? You're not even using the truck to its full limit. What are you using the truck for? Getting to tow your toolbox? Oh, I'll get whatever the hell I want. But it's okay. I'm also considering getting a Nissan Titan, which is a real truck by most standards.
Does Toyota make trucks? Because if they do, it'll never break.
There's the Toyota Tundra, the Toyota Tacoma. Those are the 2 big ones.
I'm not a huge fan of Toyota, but if I ever buy a brand new car, I would consider it because they just won't die.
Their body style's a little whack, though. Die. Look up what the Tacoma looks like. It's pretty whack looking.
But they don't die, Greg. I've known people who have had like Toyota since the 80s and have done very to minimal maintenance, and it won't die.
Yeah, I feel that way about Hondas, which is why I was considering getting a Honda Ridgeline. Because like, the thing that you will experience, the thing that I experienced with my little Honda Accord, I went 250,000 miles before the transmission started to break, and then it actually broke. And to me, that's freaking baller.
So when it comes to cars, I prefer SUVs, because a smaller SUV, not a huge one. I'm not crazy. I don't need a Suburban. Because like you can haul a decent amount of people comfortably, and you have a good amount of storage space if you need it. To me, that's all I really need, To me, the reason why I'm interested in getting a truck, specifically a Honda Ridgeline, is because the Honda Ridgeline is advertised as a party truck because it has a built-in cooler into the truck bed, and it has a built-in a line of speakers in the truck bed as well. Greg, you have to be popular to need a party truck.
Well, I mean, like, I got like 4 or 5 friends, so obviously I need like the 4 or 5 seats that the Ridgeline has, and I like being the guy who hauls around his friends. So yeah, and the Ridgeline isn't
I'm honestly surprised you weren't more offended by that joke.
I'm used to it. What do you want? I know I'm not the popular guy. Noah, like, what are you talking about?
Greg, I like.
Where are these hoes at? I have this reputation, but where are the hoes? Where are they, Noah?
Anyway, Greg wants to talk about a story.
No, I don't. Not even remotely. Not even remotely do I want to talk about that. Matter of fact, edit that out or I will kill you. You can keep the part about me being angry, but I want no one knows about that and ever will.
You told everyone at work, Greg.
They forgot about it. They have pea-brain brains.
I have on Facebook. I can ask her right now.
No.
Hold on.
Stop.
We're doing it live. No.
All right, we're at the 30-minute mark. Goodbye, everyone. I'm not even doing an outro. I'm leaving.
Okay. I'm not gonna message your crush. I'm gonna edit most of this out.
My first time.
I'm gonna take things that didn't happen for 1,000, Alex. I might keep some of that in, just censor key parts.
All right, well, since we're done, I guess we should pack it up, take the trash out.
I guess my closing remarks are, it's a fine movie. My first thought was, it's a movie that dads will like a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My dad didn't like this movie.
Wow, that's surprising.
I like this movie a lot.
Greg is a dad at heart, or maybe he actually is a dad. We don't know.
No, I am definitely a dad at heart. I get excited about wearing sandals.
You look at Dex and you go, oh yeah.
Ask all of my friends. They all think I'm a dad.
You sure you don't have any little ones out there, Greg?
Nope. Very sure. I would have known by now.
Because you would have gotten really mad if I made this joke.
Oh, boy. You know, it's pretty funny that the only thing we ever do around here is take the trash out.
Sometimes I mop. Usually I just dump out the mop bucket and let it air dry, and that passes.
It's the least we could do.
Sometimes, like, during my shift, I'll spray out the grates to make the, machine look decent. Gotta have Bessie look purty.
Her name is Evangeline.
Greg, you're the only one who calls it that.
That's her name. It's not my fault.
Greg, do you do things with this machine when I'm not around?
Just mop.
Okay. Anyway, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go check out our other videos. Comment. Commenting helps a lot with engagement, so please do that. If your comment's nice, I'll heart it.
Do comment. Call me how much of a dipshit I am. Go ahead. I dare you.
Greg loves to be antagonized.
I do. I live for it.
Anyway, this has been Dish Talk. My name's Noah, and that's Greg, and we're out.